Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so today we are going to start with the day 2 of training. The decorum and protocol, as I explained in the previous session. You can keep your microphones muted at all times. Whenever a subtopic or a topic gets completed, I'll be giving you time. You can ask as many questions. Please note them down during the explanation. So you are all familiar with it. The Google certification pathway, which I explained in the previous session as well, would be Certified Educator Level 1, for which you are getting training right now. It's a 5-day training. Today is day 2. And after you are done with the Educator level 1, you can move on to then Certified Educator Level 2 program. So once that certification is done, which is basically a requirement for the other Google certifications, then you can move on to becoming a Google certified trainer, then a coach, and then a innovator. So all these has to go in a step by step manner. That's what Google has created. That is how it has been created for all the coaches or trainers. So in level 1, you will be getting the know-how of how to prepare for it, how to get certified, how to register for the exam, and all of those things. But before that, you have to get this training done. So let's start with day 2 without wasting any much time. Um, in today's session, we will be learning two Google tools. One is Google Forms, and the second one is Google Sheets. These two are there in day 2 training, right? So I will just show you the checklist for Google Forms first. You can go through this checklist. In Google Forms, we are going to learn first how to create a form, how to add questions, edit questions, how to choose a response destination, how to edit the settings and view responses. You have to how to give the feedback, how to create a quiz, and how to collect the data, grade it, and embed video in the Google Forms. These are all the things that you will be learning. Now, forms are one of the most versatile tools when it comes to digital classroom. We have been using forms for quite some time. So Google Forms is, it's a tool which is very much useful, and it has a lot of features that you will find useful in your classroom as well. Once you will get accustomed to using Google Forms, you would prefer it, on other forms that you are using. So it helps you to create quiz, surveys, and feedback. So mainly, why do we use a form? When we want some response from the users. When we are talking about students, we mostly want to create quizzes, right? But you also want sometimes just to conduct a survey. A survey is a form of a quiz, or you can say it is a form wherein you are not assessing them. You are not giving them marks based on their responses. You simply are collecting data. So surveys are useful in that way, and we will create a survey today. And also feedbacks. So you can also gather responses regarding a particular session or a particular workshop, and so on and so forth. So these are the various things that we can create on Google Forms. Now let's move on to a Google Form. Uh, I'll be telling you all of these things, how to create a question, what kind of questions are there, and everything by doing a hands-on. So if any of you is working on a mobile phone, you can shift to a laptop. It would be better if you want to do hands-on along with me, right? So you can change your device. Okay, now let's go back. Okay, let me just open my drive first. Okay, so this is my drive, or I'll just start from the very beginning. There are three ways through which you can open your Google form. One is through your drive. So we have already covered the drive part yesterday on Thursday's training. So how can you open a Google form from drive? You have to go to the new option. Under new option, you will see it gives you an option to create a doc, sheet, slides, and a form. So this is one way. You click on Google Forms and it will start with an untitled form. This is one way. The second method to open a Google form is by going to the Omnibox. This is called an Omnibox, and you can directly write forms.google.com .google.create. So if you will click, it will give you an option. I think forms.google.create. Just a second. Mm.
Even through a waffle?
Yes, through a waffle also. That is the third way. That's why I said you have three ways to open a Google form. So this is the second method through the Omnibox, forms.google.com. The third way is your obviously the waffle. So if you are in your Gmail account, you click on this waffle, the 9 dots, and then you have the option of opening a Google form. So all of these three ways opens the same window, that is your forms, the Google forms which are attached to your current profile, whichever profile you are working with. So every Gmail account has its own profile, you are aware of it. So whichever profile you are working on that window, it will open the Google forms for that profile, right? Now, once you open the Google Forms, see, I have opened it three ways. All three are different. I have opened in three different tabs, right? So this is a tab, this is a tab, and this is a tab. Most of them are similar. Now, this is the basic, Google form. If you are creating a blank form, you will click on blank. So first way is blank form. Again, it has opened an untitled form. Now, for example, if you're creating a form for the students, so let's create a form. First thing we need to give the title. For example, this is a quiz, or you can say let's create it on photosynthesis, right? You type the name of the form in the title and press enter. As soon as Yes. So it was taking a time. As soon as you press enter, the title of the form also changes along with the form name. So this is the title, form description, and form title changes to whatever you have typed above, right? Now, as you can see, the first question is already there in the form by default. The first question area, this blue line indicates that this is your active question. This is the question where you are start typing. So let's create a simple form, and I will explain the right panel, the panel on the right hand side. This is a floating panel. So let's create a questionnaire on photosynthesis. I'm going to just take few questions from the web. So I have typed this first question. The question is, sweet potato is an underground structure which stores food. Where is the food prepared in the plant? So this is just a question which I am taking from the net. I want to, it's not letting me type. It's not letting me copy from that website. I'm just going to take it from another website. Give me a second.
We can type the question also here.
Yes, yes, yes. Obviously, you can type the question. I'm just saving time.
Okay.
Okay, so I have just typed one first question. Photosynthesis occurs in, and then if I want this question to be a multiple choice question, so then the right hand side, there's a box. You can see that it gives me a lot of choices of the type of question. So if I want this to be a short answer question, I can select. If it has to be a paragraph, multiple choice, check boxes, drop down, file upload, linear scale, multiple choice grid, checkbox grid, and the last one is date. So date and time is also there. So all these are different types of questions. In your level 1 certification, the question might come about the type of questions which are allowed in your Google Forms. So it will give you a set of options and you have to select which all kinds of questions are allowed in Google Form. So if I want this to be a multiple choice question, I can select the multiple choice and I can maybe type the options here and I'll show you. I don't even know whether I'm writing the correct one or not. Just a second. Fluoropause, yes. I can only press enter also to move on to the next option. Now I have created one question, right? This is a multiple choice question. Now I can see how this will look like. I want to preview it. Then when the students will look at this form, how will they see it? So as you can see on top, we are getting some options. We are getting a customized theme, preview, undo, redo, and send, and the other options, more options, which I will explain later. So this I symbol is for previewing the form. So click on preview. It will open another window and it will show how this will look like when it will open on the student side. So this is how it is going to look like. So I do not want the other. So what I can do is this other is appearing. I can simply remove it. I can just click on this cross to remove this option. And now again, I want to preview it. Now see this option has gone, the other option, which I did not want earlier, right? The second thing is this is a multiple choice question, right? I can also apply some themes on the Google form. There are some pre-created themes. This customized theme option allows me to give any image as a theme on the header of the Google form. So what you can do is you can click on this header, choose image. It will show you a lot of images which are already built in, right? So for example, if you can select any, obviously. So I just want to select this green one. As soon as it is selected, I will get an insert option. So I will click on insert. It will take a little while and the image will appear as a header. So this is appearing on top. This is how you can put an image on the Google form header. You can change the color theme. Right now it is a little mustard like theme. You can select any of your choice if you want blue or green, or even you can create your own color. So if I want a green theme, I can select add, and see now the theme color is green with the light green background and a dark green line on top, right? So there are other things which you can modify under theme. You can change the font style as well. You can change so if you want a decorative text or a formal or a playful text, you can modify that one. Now you can see my text is playful. So you can select the kind of a font as well. You can also change the background color. So like this, select the color of your choice. It's quite basic. So these are all the theme options. And now I just want to close it and you can see we have changed the theme of the form. Now let's move on to the second type of a question. This is the first question we have added. Now, if I want to maybe create a question of short answer type. So I have to select short answer and then I can type the question. This is my second question, and this is short answer type. You can preview it again and see how it will look like on the form. So the second question will look like this. The students will get a text box, a text area where they can type the answer. If you think that this is going to be a paragraph type of a answer wherein this space is not enough, then you can modify the answer type or the question type to paragraph, right? So this becomes a long answer question or long answer text. So far clear? Let's move on to create another question here. So the next question that I want to create, I want to take it from, I think so far, any doubts? If you have any doubts, please ask.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So most of the questions that I can see here are short, the multiple choice ones. I want to show you how to insert an image. So if there is a question wherein I want to insert an image, I want to show students some image, and based on that image, I want to ask a question. Then what I can do is, you can see this image button right next to the question. So you can click on that, and then it will show you an insert image window. There are multiple ways of inserting an image. You can upload an image from your system, from the device. You can take an image from the camera also, right? If your camera is on, you can just click the image and you can take it from there. You can also put a URL, paste the URL of the image, right? You can take it from your Google Photos. You can take it from Google Drive. So Google Drive has some image. You can also take it from there. It will show you all the images which are there on your Google. And the last one is Google image search. So you can also search for an image. So I'll just want to search for maybe leaves. So so now I am getting a lot of images from Google image search. So I can select the one that I want, maybe this one, and insert. It will take a little while, and then this image appears. So I can simply, what kind of leaf, or I don't remember the question, but what kind of leaf structure is this? So you can just simply type the question based on the image, right? And then if it is a multiple choice question, you can give options here. Um, you know, I don't remember, but I'm just, so like this, you can create a image question, right? You can insert an image to the question. So this is going to be a third question. I'm just going to make it third one. You should always give numbers to the questions. This is the second question. I will show you how to convert this into a quiz after this. Let's create one more question wherein I want to show you, if you want to give, uh, okay, I'm in preview, I guess. Yes. So So now I want to show you how you can put an image as an option. So if you're creating a multiple choice question where your answers in the form of images, right? So if you are creating a question, which art of planet is this, right? So this is a question, and you want to give the images as options, right? So what you can do is, you can put the images as answers also. So this is a very silly question, but whatever it is, it will do the job here. So I'm inserting the image as an option to a multiple choice question as well, right? So this one is your first option, and an image is appearing here, right? If you want to add another, and again, this is going to be an image, you can just put an image here also. Just a second. Is it not giving me? So, here. Yeah. So now it is giving me an option to insert an image. You can again Click on insert image, Google search. That is the easiest way. So like this. You just select an image, insert it. Now this is your second option, and this way you can select more options, right? So this will create your fourth question. You should number the questions. Now, how can you move your questions up and down? Maybe if I wanted this question to be appearing above the previous question. So how, there is a 6 dots on top of your question. If you move your cursor there, it will allow you to simply drag it wherever you want. So if you want this to appear here, you can just place it there, right? So it is appearing now after question number three, question number two. So this becomes question number three, and then there are two questions which I created. So you can simply remove them. How? Select the question and delete. Select and delete. And now this becomes question number four. You need to change the number of the question. And now our form contains four questions. Now, what will you do if you want to change this form to a quiz, right? What is a quiz? Quiz is something which is automatically graded, right? So for that, once you select, for example, if this is the question photosynthesis occurs in, and I want to auto grade it. So how do I do that? First thing, as soon as you will select a question, you will see that there are some options appearing at the bottom. First is duplicate, second is delete, required, and then you are getting these dots for more more options. So if you want to duplicate, obviously you can duplicate. One more question will be created below this one, which is the similar question. If you want it to be a required field, you put a required check. And if you want this to be a quiz, then how you could do it? You have to go to settings for that. So you will see on top of your Google form, you are getting questions, responses, and settings. So click on settings. Here, the first setting is make this a quiz. So if you move the slider, this will become a quiz now. Now it can be created as an auto graded form, right? The same way we have been doing it. So now this is a quiz. Go back to the questions, and now you can mark the answer to this question, right? So up iska answer, if I want to mark, what will I do? I'll click on this answer key like this. I will put a mark, a weightage to it. I want this to be a 1 marker, and I can add the answer also. So if I want photosynthesis occurs in, I don't know where. So if this is the correct answer, I'll put chloroplast. This is a multiple choice. I cannot make two as an answer. So chloroplast is the answer. Done. Now this is a quiz. I hope this is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is how you create a quiz. Okay, I want to show you more types of questions in this only. So same way you can mark for
Fatima,
others also. Yes,
Fatima, in case there's a short answer question, how can we check the response?
yes.
Already repeated response हो सकते हैं उसमें?
Mahima ma'am, this is a good question actually. In this kind of a question, like we have created defined photosynthesis, you cannot, there cannot be one answer to this question. Every child will write it in a different way. You can make it required and all that, but you cannot put a answer key in this one. Answer key can only be created for MCQs, for a checkbox type of questions. So I'll just show you for MCQs, for multiple choice, for checkboxes, even for drop down. All these questions allow us to give an answer key, but a short answer or a paragraph question cannot. We cannot give a correct answer for that.
Okay.
So let's create one more. Okay, what is the difference between multiple choice and checkboxes? Can anybody tell me? Okay, so the difference is basically the number of correct answers to the question. In multiple choice question, normally there is one correct answer because we get this round radio button. And for check boxes, because we get a check box, the students can select multiple answers as correct answers, right? Then the third kind is drop down. Drop down and multiple choice are somewhat similar, only the difference lies in the amount of space taken by the question. So let's create a checkbox kind of a question. If I modify this one only, then photosynthesis occurs in, if it occurs in more than one places, then I can now select multiple answers also. So in under answer key, I can maybe chloroplast and nucleus, I can make two correct answers. And the number of points will vary. If you want this to be a 2-pointer, that means if you want 1 mark for each correct answer, then you can make it a 2-pointer, or otherwise you can keep it as one also. Then zero point 0.5 weightage will be given to the correct answer. You can click on done, right? So this is a checkbox kind of a question. The third one is drop down. So what happens in a drop down question? I have modified the same one to show you. When you create a drop down question, the question has a different number of options. The same way you will specify them, but the way it will it will come out to be on the form is different. So I just want to show you. I have previewed it. Now see, this was a drop down question. Now it is showing us a downwards arrow and it is giving us the options. So whichever is the correct option, now student can select, right? So it is only, the difference lies only in the amount of space. It is normally given when you want a student to select out of a set of values, like which is your grade and what is your section. These kinds of questions usually are done using drop down, but you can also use it for your assessment, right? The
Rakhi
next,
ma'am, Rakhi
yes.
ma'am, Juhi ma'am, I think she's not able to unmute herself. She sent one message over there on chat box.
Okay, I've been not checking the chat. Okay, you are not able to unmute yourself, but I haven't done any settings. I have not changed any settings, Juhi ma'am. Can you rejoin? There are no setting modifications from my side. It is just the basic. Please check. Okay.
Rakhi ma'am, this answer key will be appearing to the students as well, or how do we hide it?
The answer key is only for you. You as a creator of the form will also only have access to the answer key. The form will only appear to the students like the a normal form appears like this only.
Okay,
They
so
will only,
there's
yeah.
no way to hide the answer key. It is automatically hidden.
It is hidden. It is hidden. It is not
Okay.
there in students' views. They will only mark their answers and they will submit it through the submit button. Once they will submit it, you have the responses appearing here automatically. I will show you the responses. I will give you this form first, and then I will show you how the responses appear and how you can assess them. Um, okay, let me just share. Let me just see if I have covered all the types of questions, and then I will. Okay. I have to explain other options also here. In this floating panel on the right hand side, only I have explained add question option. In add question also, it is second, why is it taking time? It's taking a little bit time once you add images actually. So if you create a form with multiple images or a lot of images, it takes a little while, because everything is on the cloud. So I have added a question, but it is taking a little while to appear below it. So I'll just modify the same
Rakhi
one.
ma'am, one query.
Hmm.
Suppose by mistake, if I have marked wrong answer in answer key, so is there any option that we can edit the answer after submission of the paper also? Suppose the child has already done the questions and I have all the responses, but
Hmm.
while checking, I got that I have marked some wrong answer over there by mistake. So is there any option to change the answer or it is
See,
not?
you can modify the answer in your questionnaire because this form is your property once you have created it. But once the form goes live to the students, you have given the form to the students and the students give their responses, they submit the form, then you cannot modify the answer in the previous. You cannot modify the answer what they have marked or
Yes.
for the form that you have already given to the students. Once it's gone live, you cannot change for that same form. But later on, you will be using this form for other students also. This is once created, it is your property. You can always modify the answer. You can always modify the answer key. But then next time when you will give to the second set of students, for them it will show the correct answer. I hope I'm clear
Yes,
on
ma'am.
this, Shefali ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So there is no way actually. For your question, there is no way. Okay. The type of questions, I think, yeah. The file upload kind of a questions are used when you want the students to create a file and then upload it as an answer. For example, if you want them to submit a PPT or a drawing or any other kind of a file, I'll just create one question. So let respondents upload files to the drive. For this, you have to give a permission. Files will be uploaded to the form owner's Google Drive. So whenever respondents will submit a file, it will automatically come to your drive, right? So you have to continue. Then I have, because I've changed the same kind of a question, define photosynthesis, and I have allowed file, I have made it a file upload kind of a question. Now, what kind of a file you want the students to upload, you can change it from here. If you want only a specific file type to be uploaded by the students, if you want only a PowerPoint file, if you want just an Excel file or a docx file, so then you can specify here, you can put it towards the left. But if you made the slider to the right, you will see you can specify, like if you only want document file, if you want multiple file types, you can select here. So define photosynthesis, but I want the student to, he can put an image, he can put a drawing, he can put a PDF. So then I can select any different kinds of a files that the student can, is allowed to submit, right? And maximum number of files, how many files he can submit for one question. If it is only one, then you can put a one here. Agar aapko lagta hai the student can submit more files, if it's a long question or whatever, you can change the number from here. And also specify the file size. If you want the file size only to be 10 MB, you can put 10 MB and whatever. So this is how you can uh, give a file upload kind of a question through Google form, right? And so this is define photosynthesis. Now I will just show you. I'm going to preview it. I want to show you how it will look like. So these two are coming because I clicked on it. So now see define photosynthesis, and the students are getting an option to add a file to this question. So if they will click on add file, they will be able to select a file from their device, from their drive, or even the previous selected file. And they can simply select a file and upload it. It will go under Google Drive of the creators account. So it will come under the drive folder of my, under my drive, right? So I hope this is clear. This is a file upload kind of a question. I'm going to go back and I want to show you if I have, okay. Now there are this linear scale, multiple choice grid, checkbox grid. I also want to show you these types of questions. Let's create a linear scale question, and for that I want to add another question. Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how many times do you go for, this is a not a related question, but I just can think of this right now. So if this is a question I want to give for a linear scale type of a question, then I have given on a scale of 1 to 10 how many times you go for physical activity, 1 being lowest. So what I can do is I can create a linear scale. I can give the minimum and maximum. I have given 1 to 10. You can obviously change this value. You can give from 0 to maybe 7 or 8 also, right? So because my question already had 1 to 10, Google is smart enough to understand. It would automatically created a scale of 1 to 10. I can give it a label also. So 1 means never and 10 means maybe every day, right? So this is a linear scale kind of a question. Let me show you this one also. So how would this look like? See, the linear scale kind of a question will look like this. Student can mark their answer, maybe 2, 3, or 4, whatever is the answer, and then submit. Right? So this is linear scale. And okay, the last category which I wanted to show you is I think I have closed it. Just a second. Yes. So the last one is the question which I want to show you. That is your multiple choice grid. So multiple choice grid is a kind of a question where you want the students like to match something, to give the matching kind of a question. For example, let's create a question wherein we are creating maybe which application do you use to shop for groceries, something like that. Then you can specify the rows and the columns. So maybe in rows you want to give the name of the application, maybe Amazon, Flipkart, mm, Blinkit. I cannot think of any more. So maybe I'm just writing. So these are going to be your rows, and you want to give, what item do they buy. So maybe home decor. So I think this is not making any sense, but I'll just show you once the question will appear. It will make sense. Oops. This is more like a survey question, and maybe sure. So the columns appear, like a vertical segment, and the rows are towards the left hand side. So if you want this to be a multiple choice grid, and you can also give the answer key to this kind of a question, I'll just show you how it will look like first. So I have created a simple question with multiple choice grid. It will how, this is how it will appear. So if you want, a person to mark maybe what kind of item he purchases from a particular application, so you can create this kind of a question. Now see, if I'm marking, I can also mark like this, right? But you want only one response per column, right? Otherwise I can mark like this. If this is a multiple choice grid, a user can only mark one response per column, right? So this is how you can create a question wherein you want to give a matching kind of a field, something to be matched from left and right column. So you can give a multiple choice grid kind of a question in this way, right? Where did it go? Okay. Yeah. So this is how you can give multiple choice. And there is one more I want to show you, checkbox grid. It simply allows you multiple answers to be selected. If I made it a checkbox grid, the only difference is multiple answers could be selected, and in the previous one only one option can be selected, right? So you can do it yourself. See, more you will practice, more you will get to know about all these things. So see, now here a checkbox allows me to put a check mark in multiple answers, right? Fine. I hope this is all clear to you. These are all different kinds of questions you can give in Google form. I just want to check. Yes, date and time is simple. If you want to create a question where you want the student to just simply select the date, you can put a date here, and it and another question with time only. So it will give you, and it automatically selects the type of a question, and you will see. I just want to show you. Uh, the date question gives you this format MMDDYY, and also gives you a calendar option from where you can select a date. Maybe if a student wants to give 18th May to 2022, so it gives you this kind of a method of selecting the date and also time. So if it is a particular time, a student can type maybe 8 p.m. So whatever, if AM or PM, so date and time is quite simple, right? So these are all the different kinds of questions that you can give in a Google form. I hope I explained all different kinds of a question. Okay, now about the right panel, which is your last part of this discussion. You can also import a question which you have previously created in another form, right? So this import question option allows you to do that. The add title and description question allows you to give a title to a particular section, right? So if you want MCQs, and then you want to give short answer questions, you can give a title and description. So this is simply for a section. If you want to add an image to your form, you can give a image to the entire form. So I'll just show you. If you want one question, one image, and then 5 questions based on that image, then you can give it like this. Maybe plant, or you can also take a labeled plant diagram. Science teachers, I think, will agree. So if you want to give a diagram like this and insert it, right? Now, this is a diagram which is appearing in the Google form, but as you can see, this is not a question. This is just an image title. So a plant diagram, and then this is added. You can see this is not a question. This is not a question. There is no options appearing. This is simply an image that I've added. Now I can add 5 questions based, or 10 questions based on this diagram, right? So this is how you can use an image, this image option in the form, wherein one question doesn't have the image is there, and then 5, 10 questions are there based on that image, right? So this is how it can be used. You can also insert a video. You can give a YouTube video. The students in the form itself, the students will be able to watch it while attempting the form, and then you can ask the questions. Similar to this one only, I'll just show you. If you want me to show you, you can give a YouTube video, or you can search YouTube on same, let's take the plant concept. Um, Why is it not picking a video? See.
Sorry, Rakhi ma'am. For the first question, how are you inserting the image? Earlier, I thought you were clicking on the floating message to enter the images of sky, cloud. Otherwise, how are you doing for the other questions?
Ma'am, you're asking for this the question wherein the options have the images.
Sky. Yeah, yeah, yes, yes.
See here, once you are, I'll just show you. See, when you are creating a question of a multiple choice type, you can give an image for each of the options. For that, once you click on add option, you will see there is an add image coming up. This is an option appearing right next to the option, right?
Achha, okay.
So you click on this, and then you can simply insert the image of your choice.
Achha, okay, okay.
Okay. Okay, the YouTube video is also to be added in the same way. Right now, it is not searching for a video, but then obviously you can search for an image, the video, and then you can put the URL here, and then you can insert it. It will appear in your Google form, and the students will be able to answer questions based on that video, right? The last one is adding a section. How you can add a section? You can simply click on add section, and then a new section is added, right? So This is your new section. Maybe just a second. Let me giving me an option. Yeah. Yes, this is the section. I have added 3 sections because I was clicking on it again and again. So this is your section number 3. So the section again will allow you to go on to the second section or third section. Second section is untitled, third is untitled. A section is simply a division of your form, right? So you want to modify your form, you want to give a big form with multiple sections, you can give it like this. So this is about this floating panel on the right hand side. All the options I have covered on the right hand side panel. This is a floating panel. So as you move down in your form, it will move along with you, right? So I just want to give you a link to this form. Okay, I want to share this link now with my students. How do I do that? I have this send option. So you click on send. If you want to give this form, you want to give this form to the students by writing their email. So the first option is send via email. You can type the emails of all the people to with whom you want to share this form with. The second way of sharing this form is through a link, right? So if you do not know the emails, obviously you will not be able to use this method. The second is by using a link of this form, which is more useful and maximum use by teachers and all. So then you can just generate a link of this form, which I'm doing right now. You can also shorten the URL if you want, or if you want, you can simply just take this link, copy it from here, and then you can give it to all the audience or all the members. You can also put it under the assignment section of your classroom, which I have already explained. So I have just sent that link of the form that we have created in the chat box. You can all explore it. The third method of sharing a form is I have multiple. The third way is by inserting a link. So embed an HTML link for this form. This form cannot be embedded because it makes use of file upload question. If you are using a file upload kind of a question, then you cannot embed the link of a form to a HTML. But if you do not have a file upload kind of a question, we have this file upload. I simply want to delete it. And now I will share it. So click on send and now it will allow me to embed it. So this is the embed HTML. The you can simply copy it. And now if I want, I can embed it in my site, and I can embed it in my any other thing. I can put it in a doc, in a sheet, or wherever I want. Right? I hope
So
all of
sorry,
this is clear. We are done. Yes,
Dr.
ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
When I am opening this document, it is asking a permission that you need permission to open.
Okay, just a second. I think I will just, okay, 1 second. Okay, Rashmi ma'am, I'll just check. 1 second. If anybody with the link, I have to put a check mark.
I shared the image with your WhatsApp number. You can see this kind of thing is shown there.
Yes, ma'am. It we need permission, I think.
Yes, ma'am. I got to know what I did wrong.
Okay.
I'll just tell you. I'm going to show it to you. So this is the form. When I'm sharing it with you, see, uh, this is the link. There is an option of sharing it with everybody. Just a second. Let me see what exactly is the message.
think we can do go to the setting option and there we can do something.
Yeah, owner's organization. The
Yes,
form can
yes,
only
yes.
be viewed by users in the owner's organization. Okay, so that means that only Mahatattva people, because this is created using Mahatattva ID. I'll just let me just check the settings. Yes, I think, yeah, responses. Yes. Mm, yeah. So there is an option in the settings which says restrict to users in Mahatattva, because that is the domain that I'm using. So I'll just put a slider off. So that means now everybody will be able to uh, do this questions. So I'm going to share the link again, copy it, and I want to give it to you in this meeting.
Yes,
Please,
ma'am, it's working now.
yeah,
I clicked.
yeah, I have modified the settings.
Hmm.
Earlier, the settings were only for the set of people who are there in the same domain. Now, same thing happens when MRIS domain. If you're creating a form in that domain, only the users of that domain will be able to give the responses. I'll just show you the settings again because I think we have not discussed all the settings. So if you go to the settings, there are multiple settings which you have there. You have to obviously always look at the settings before giving a form to the students or to your colleagues, for whoever. So respondent settings, missed question, respondent can see which question were answered incorrectly right after submission. So if you put the slider on, the students will be able to see what all was incorrect, what all questions they have marked incorrectly. Correct answers, respondents can see correct answer after grades are released. So once you have released your grades, they will be able to see the correct answer. Point values also. So this is the setting for that. Default question point value you can give here. If I want all the questions to be a one marker, I can give it a default 1 point, because we have already made it a quiz, as you remember. If we have already created a form as a quiz, then we can specify the default points. So if I make it a form again, that option will go away, right? If it is a quiz, I can give a default value to each question. If you want the emails to be collected from everybody, you can put this slider on, and there would be one field of collection of email. Automatically, email will appear. Send respondents of a copy of their response. If you do not want them to get a copy of their response, you can make it off. Otherwise, you can switch it on. Allow response editing. If you want students to only submit once, keep it off. And restrict, again, I have unrestricted it now. And other options are presentation, manage how the form and responses are presented. So there are other settings for this. You can see that they can show progress bar, shuffle questions. If you want to shuffle the questions, put a slider on, they will automatically be in shuffled order. Show link to submit another response, view result summary, all these you can explore. Defaults are form defaults. What are collect email by default? अगर आप चाहते हो कि email आ जाए, then you can put a slider on. Question defaults here, manage questions required by the default. So all these settings you have to check once, and then let me see if anybody has given me a response. Nobody has submitted so far. Please submit the form. Please attempt this form and submit your responses. I want to show you how you can collate the responses in Google Sheet. I hope this is clear to everybody. Google Forms, if you have questions, please ask.
Excuse me, Rakhi ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking for that photosynthesis form, no?
Please
I have
submit.
already shared.
Okay, I'll just check. I haven't received any responses yet. It is showing 0 responses. Maybe it is taking time. I got one now. So as you can see, as soon as somebody will submit a response, this number will appear right next to the responses to indicate how many people have submitted it. And then if you click on responses, you get an option for Google Sheets. So if you want to create a Google Sheet of the responses, you just click on this Google Sheet, create a new spreadsheet on photosynthesis, or if you want, you can add the responses to an existing spreadsheet on your Google Drive as well, right? So, but I want to create a new spreadsheet. Click on create. It will automatically create a Google Sheet with the responses, the score, with all the options, with all the questions on top as a heading and their answers, which are marked by a particular student, right? So now this is submitted by Rashmi ma'am, and because it is collecting the email of the student, so I am getting the email as well, because there was no place to put the name of the student. Now Shifali ma'am has submitted it, so it is automatically added here. See, this is all live. This is in real time. Mahima ma'am has just submitted it. So as the
Raki
students are
ma'am,
doing,
excuse me, sorry. Raki
yes,
ma'am,
yes,
why am I not getting this option of submit? I have attempted all the questions. Where do I submit it from now?
you
At
must
the
be
end?
getting a submit button at the bottom. Please check.
No, at the bottom it is just back, next, and then on the extreme clear
Ma'am,
form
you
is
go
not.
to next, keep on going to next one, and at the end you will find it on the third page.
Yes,
Acha, okay.
because I got your response, Sonia ma'am. It is
Okay.
because we added a multiple sections, no? While showing you
Okay, all
how to
right.
add section, I kept on adding sections, so that is why.
All right. And then we can view our score as a student. When you check our question paper, then we can view it also because it shows the option of view score.
It is,
Just
yes, it is under settings. It is up to me whether, as a teacher, it is up to me whether I want to show you the responses or not. As I
okay.
showed you here, this manage responses under settings. See, I am in settings. Under
All right.
manage responses, I can select whether I want you to see the your
Result.
response or not, or it's up to me. This is just a slider. I can mark it on or off. Okay, this is allow response editing. There is one more here. To get the responders a copy of their email, collect email. So there was one option here, right? Or if I want, I will show you under responses. I'll just take a minute because my battery is getting low. So under responses, after I have seen the responses, I have checked the questions. I can also see how everybody is doing. You can see the scores here because I did not mark every the answer key for all the questions. Everybody is in zero. But if I had created a questionnaire where answers are pre-marked, then I would get the score also, right? So this is how you can analyze the data once you have gotten the responses. So it gives you a lot of ways. It also shows you charts and all, but we have not created a quiz with all the answers marked, so I'm not able to see the score, and I cannot analyze it right now. I can release the scores from this option, from this button. Once everybody has submitted, all of the responses are submitted and analyzed and everything, I can release the scores. So I'm going to release the scores. I will just show you. And how do I want to release it? I want to send them email, right? Send email and release. Now you all will get the emails on these emails that you have given for attempting the questionnaire, and you will get your score. Fine.
Right.
Okay. So this is all about Google Forms. The next thing that we are going to learn is Google Sheets. Okay, before that, I'm going to take 2 minutes because I need to put a charger for my laptop. So just give me 2 minutes or two.
Is anybody aware that how will we register for the exam? Because in the previous session we were not there. So,
Yeah, ma'am had given a link to join CBSC Google certification.
but I have clicked over there, but Sonia ma'am, I'm not able to do that. I don't know why. Might be I have not
No,
joined.
no, Abhi, as yet there are no questions available. There's just the information which they will be uploading, the reminders and all. There are
Okay,
no
okay, okay.
questions. Yeah,
Then we
the
will join,
mock
right?
exam has not started yet.
Okay, fine. It
Huh.
means we will go on the same link and we will get the
Same link.
questions over there, right?
Maybe after the once the whole session is completed, no, after
Hmm.
5 days, then.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, fine. Thank you.
Just Pali ma'am, after making this, creating this Google form, then we can share it through our ERP also as an assignment now.
Rakhi ma'am will tell ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, Sonia ma'am, I just heard your question.
Uh,
Yes, you can share. I just showed you how to create a link of the form. So once you have created a link, you have copied that link, you can share it through any mode. You can even share it on WhatsApp, wherever. You simply have to paste that link. So you can share it with anybody at any time, right?
okay.
Okay, the next topic is sheets. Okay, so Google Sheets is another very good tool by Google wherein you can use. Acha, today I will also be giving you a MCQ assignment in the same classroom. I hope everybody has joined the Google Classroom link, and it is there in your email as well as in the chat box. Please do join it. Otherwise, you will not be able to attempt the MCQs for day two. Okay. And
Ma'am, we have to click on the link only, na? Because
yes,
I'm not getting that option to join actually.
you have to click on that link and it will ask you how do you want to join as a teacher or a student. I'll just check it. So as a student you have to join. Only Nilofer ma'am and Juhi ma'am has joined it yet. Please others also join. Just going to close a few. Okay.
Ma'am, what you are asking to join?
The
I just
classroom ma'am, the Google Classroom link
I
is
have
there.
already joined that day. Na, we need to join again.
Yes, you need to join again because I have changed the domain. I have created on Mahatatva domain. So now please join this one.
Ma'am, why is everybody's voice echoing?
Is my voice echoing? Somebody's mic was unmute, that's why.
Where is the link for that Google Classroom?
I'll just put it again. It is there in your Gmail, Ashtami ma'am,
Okay,
yesterday.
email. Okay, mail. I
And
was just looking at the chat. Fine.
it's there on the chat box also, but initially I pasted it. Okay, I got a few joinees now. Yeah. Rashmi ma'am, Shefali ma'am, Sonu ma'am. I don't know the A sisters. Who is that? Juhi ma'am, Sonia ma'am, Nilufar ma'am, and Mahima ma'am, Kiran ma'am. All these people have joined. I have also joined to another ID. So, okay. So let's move on to Google Sheets. Now, Google Sheets is another tool which is very useful, and there are multiple ways of opening Google Sheets. Um, we will be learning these. This is the checklist, skill checklist. So sorting data, formulas and functions, all this I want to cover today. Otherwise, if the time does not allow us, we will cover it tomorrow. There are three ways you can open Google Sheet. First is from your drive. Second is through your waffle, the 9 dots. Under the waffle, you will see Google Sheets. And the third is directly from the Omnibox if you will type sheets.new, right? So this is my drive and I have opened it to this is. So click on the new button and then Google Sheets. This is the first way. Through the waffle, click on the waffle, go to Google Sheets. And the third way is simply from the Omnibox. If you will write sheets dot new, you will get the new Google Sheet. So this is the third way, right? Now let's understand the Google Sheet. It is a spreadsheet software wherein your page or your work area is divided into rows and columns. You have all probably worked with Microsoft tool of the same kind. So you are familiar with the interface. The first thing is to give the name to your spreadsheet. So I'm going to give it name Google Demo. Press enter. It will automatically be saved to your drive. As soon as you press enter, it will be renamed and saved to your drive. You can move it to a particular folder in your drive. You can organize it by clicking on move. It will show me a lot of folders which are there on my drive. I can move it to a particular folder. I can also create a new folder and then move this sheet to that folder, right? This is you can see the document status. I will explain this later. Okay, apart from that, you can share it. Any Google project can be shared easily. So click on share option. Once I have created this Google demo sheet, I can share it with all of you. So I can simply type your emails and then share, or I can create a link of this spreadsheet and then share it with you all. Fine. So I will share it later. First, let's understand how the sheet works. Your sheet is divided, your Google Sheet is divided into rows and columns. These numbered horizontal parts of the window are called rows. So row number 1, 2, and so on and so forth. The vertical areas are called columns. So this is column A, this is column B, column C, column D, and so on. The intersection of a row and column is called a cell, right? So this is a cell. So this is a cell, right? A cell has an address. So every cell has a name. So this is B5. And how can I find it? The name appears in the name box. So this is A2. And the cell which has this blue border is called an active cell. Active cell is the one in which I'm currently working on, right? So this is my active cell. Now, if I select a set of cells, then it becomes a range. What is a range? A question comes in your Google certification level 1 exam. What is a cell range? So a range is a series of cells which has a name. Like if I select a range from A1 to A5, the name in the name box appears like this. So it appears A1 colon A5. That means this is a range. It doesn't have to be in one column. The range can span multiple columns. So now I have selected a range from A1 to F11. So this is a range of cells which are spanning through multiple rows and columns. So this is the basics, very basics, which I wanted to tell you. Okay, now one Google Sheet can have many sheets. So this is basically you can say a file. One Google spreadsheet file can have multiple sheets. And this is sheet 1. I can rename it to maybe grade 5. And if I want to add sheets, I simply have to click on this plus option and I'll keep on adding more sheets. If you want to rename, there are multiple ways. You can right click and rename, or you can simply double click on the name and then give it a name. So this is a grade 6. You can also color code it. So how you can color code it? Right click and change the color. So you can, as you can see, you are getting a lot of colors in the color palette. You can also create your custom color. You click on this plus and then you can create your custom color, and accordingly a bar will appear with that color. So you can color code your sheets, right? Then if you want to see all sheets, you can just click on this arrow. If you have, this is basically useful when you have more than like 15, 16 sheets and you want to see all of them here. So you can simply click on this option and you will see the sheet names here, right? Okay. I hope this is all clear. Any questions so far? This is very basics of Google Sheets. Okay. Great. Now let's move on to, I want an example sheet. Let me just copy it from, I want some data actually, and I do not want to create the data. So I'm going to see if I have some data already. Yeah. So if this is a sheet and I want to I'm just copying this data from here. I'm a little lazy in that I don't want to create it again. So this is a sheet Google demo. I have just taken the data from another sheet. Now, if I want to sort the data in my Google sheet based on a particular column of the entire sheet, then how do I sort it? I want to sort, this is already sorted, I guess, in from A to Z on student name. First, you need to select the range which you want to sort, right? Or even if you do not select, it works actually. You have to click on data. Then you do not want to sort. If you want to sort the entire sheet, you can select the first option, right? But I want to sort the range which I have selected. So I will click on sort range. It will give you an option to sort range by column A to Z, or you can select the advanced range sorting option. So select on advanced range. It will ask you whether your data has a header row or not. If you, as you can see, my data has a header row. This is the header row, student name, gender, class level, and all that. So I will put a check mark here because my data contains a header row. Now, how do I want this data to be sorted? Which column do I want to use for sorting of the data? I can select it from here. Maybe I want to sort it by student name. Maybe I want to sort it by class level. So I want to sort it by student name only. And I want this to be sorted in descending order because this is already looks like it is ascending. So I want to sort it on descending order and then sort. As you can see, now the data is sorted in descending order. And similarly, you can select any column to sort your data. So simply keep your cursor anywhere, then data, then, okay, just a second, I forgot, select it, then data, then sort range, then advanced range sorting options. Say your data has a header row and select the column. I want to sort it on maybe home state and then A to Z and then sort. Now my data is sorted on home state instead of student name in a ascending order. Is this clear, everybody? Sorting of data. This is simple sorting so far.
Rakhi ma'am,
My ma'am, I think something is echoing. Is it some other device is on? Have you logged in through two
no, I
devices?
think.
Ma'am, your voice has been echoing.
Mine also.
Yes, continuously.
Okay.
Is it fine now, ma'am?
Yes, my ma'am, it is fine. And Rashmi ma'am is saying my voice is not echoing. Ma'am, I have logged in through one device only, so I don't think there is a issue on my side.
Actually, I logged in twice from the same device. This is why it was echoing. अभी नहीं कर रहा है क्योंकि मैंने एक क्रॉस कर दिया है. मैम माय क्वेश्चन है कि इसमें जब हम एडवांस रेंज सॉर्टिंग करते हैं तो जो जैसे स्टूडेंट्स की इंफॉर्मेशन वाला वो जो एक्सेल होता है उसमें अगर नेम को अल्फाबेटिकली सॉर्ट किया है ए टू जेड
हम्म,
तो बाकी सारे कॉलम्स भी अकॉर्डिंगली उसके साथ में ही हो जाएंगे सॉर्ट, है ना?
हाँ हाँ मैम, ऑब्वियसली सी आप जब सॉर्टिंग करो किसी भी कॉलम पे तो दैट डजंट मीन कि वो ही कॉलम चेंज, वो तो फिर हमारा डेटा ही गलत हो गया ना. वी
नहीं,
हैव,
नॉर्मली तो हमारा वही होता है मैम, पर अगर आप ये बोल रहे हो जैसे एडवांस डेटा सॉर्टिंग उससे ये हो रहा है कि एंटायर शीट अकॉर्डिंग टू फर्स्ट कॉलम ही सॉर्ट हो जाएंगे.
हाँ वो बिकॉज वी हैव सिलेक्टेड दैट एंटायर रेंज. अगर आप सिर्फ एक ही कॉलम सिलेक्ट करोगे और इसको सॉर्ट करोगे देन योर डेटा विल बी करप्ट, इट विल बी इनकरेक्ट एट दैट टाइम, राइट? बट आपको पूरा रेंज सिलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा तभी तो it will sort the entire thing, right? So for students also you will use the same sorting of data and select the entire range for that,
ओके मैम, थैंक यू.
right? Okay, the next thing is using formulas and functions. I need some number data for that. Just a second. Let me just get some number data. Okay, so let me just create one. I'm not getting right now. So this is this next sheet. I'm just going to create a sheet wherein I have two columns, maybe. Yeah. So I'm just going to create just hypothetically, I have created three students, which has marks in these three subjects. Now, I want to show you how to use the formulas in Google Sheet, although you are familiar with it in Microsoft software. So, if I want the sum of values or sum of marks for student A in these subjects, the Google tool has the option of adding functions on the right hand side of your toolbar, right? There are some other options which I would explain, right, if the time permits me. So you have to click on the arrow next to the function and you will see that the sum function appears on top, right? So click on this sum function and you will see it automatically adds equal to sign, sum, and then the parentheses. The parentheses is there, the bracket is there to add the range. So if I want this range to be added, I simply can select, click and drag, and it will add under those brackets. So the range is B2 to D2, right? So I want this marks in English, Hindi, and maths to be totaled here. So that range I have selected and simply press enter. Now, as you can see, the Google Sheet automatically gives you a suggestion of filling the rest of the cells below the one in which you have filled. So automatically the marks are calculated. The total is calculated for student B and C. So suggested autofill is there. In that way, it is very smart software. If you want to keep the suggestion, put a check mark. Click on this check mark. Or otherwise, if you want to process, you want to reject it, you can do so. So I want to keep it, right? Now, same way, how you can calculate the average of the marks, you can you can select the active cell, you can select the cell F2, again go to the functions, select average this time, select the range, maybe this, and then press enter, right? It will again suggest you can press control, press enter to autofill or just put a check. Same way, minimum and maximum I will also show you. For that, you have to again go to functions. You will see a min max is there. Click on min. Again, select a range and press it, right? Same way for maximum. Or see, if you forget to autofill, I forgot it. I did not do it. So how you can do that? You will see that this cell has a small square at the bottom right corner, right? This is a symbol for autofill. The autofill suggestion, which I rejected earlier, I can still do it by simply moving my cursor on this blue box, click and drag. That's it. So even if you have rejected it, don't think that you will not be able to get it back. You can do it anytime. Same way, maximum. I'll just do it for you. Simply select the maximum, select the range, and enter. And you can keep the suggestion if you want, right? So this is some simple functions functions are simply some formulas which are built into the software, and that is how to use them. Apart from these, which are very basic ones, you have some advanced formulas based on some category. So like if you want to see all functions which are there in Google Sheet, you can click on all and everything will be displayed as a list. You want database functions, you want array functions, but these are again a little advanced for when you will go for Google certification level 2. Some of these are there in that syllabus. Fine. So teachers, I will There is a concept of charts which is left in Google Sheet. Can we continue that tomorrow? If that is fine. So we have,
Yes.
yes. So because I also have some appointment, so I want to leave the class for today here only, and I will be giving you an MCQ which will appear in the classroom assignment. Please check it, and by today evening it will appear. I'll put a message in the classroom itself, or if you want, I can create a WhatsApp group also, and there I can put a message. Fine. I will create a WhatsApp group and put a link across to you in the classroom so that everybody can join it from the classroom, and it will be easier for you to see when the assignment appears.
Okay.
Fine. Any doubts so far?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.